Do you love playing Go format but are tired of playing the same old Go decks? Well, keep watching. YugiNoNo! Alright guys, so not only is this like the most interesting Go deck I've ever seen, but it actually competes and wins. I've had to play test against this thing. It sucks. I've had to, listen to Sam, kind of
just talk your ear off.
Talk about the theory of this deck and brag about how he's made up this deck all on his own and everything else. And he just had to show everybody. But it is a really, really great deck, and I'm really excited for you, and I'm really excited to show all you guys because this deck, if you guys do play Go format and you're tired of the same old chaos beast, or just standard Go, kind of rotation, with
monarchs. That's a good change.
It's a really, really good change, and this deck works. It is insanely good, and it's very, very creative. So props to Sam. Let's go ahead and get into this deck profile.
So I want to start off by saying that the deck definitely has a lot of engines that aren't new, obviously, and it's not like I created new engines and stuff, but I think I made up a few new kind of ideas for the deck. Started out with this Pixie Knight.
He's being humble. I feel like this deck is gonna make you do some mental gymnastics right now.
So Pixie Knight, it's a light spellcaster 1300. I was going through bulk the other day, and I was just like, huh. And I said the other day, but it was 2 months ago. We've been working on this for a while now. My friend Tyler Guy had brought this card up to me, but it honestly, if I wouldn't have seen this card before, somebody wouldn't have brought it up to me, I probably wouldn't have recognized it just shuffling through bulk. But so what it does is whenever this is destroyed by battle, your opponent selects a spell from your graveyard and puts it on top of your deck. So that's what she does. So to turbo Pixie Knight out, we run 2 Shining Angels. So versus a normal Go deck that runs somewhere between 12 and 21 spells or whatever it is, this deck runs 6 only.
6 spells.
And you kind of force your opponent into a corner every single time because it forces them to use cards that they don't want to use to out this card, and then in the end your monsters win because your monsters are bigger. And then it's just really weird, man. It's just and then if they attack into it, and then obviously or what's funny is
long story short, you're gonna kill this thing, and you're gonna get him another pot of greed, and you're gonna be salty about it.
You're gonna hate it. So but I can run into you, I can normal Shining Angel run into it and the specialist, and then run into it,
and then take a pot of greed.
Right. So what it does, this deck forces every single time that that every draw phase that I have, I +1 every single draw phase. Or I'm activating a power spell. So I got these, and then I have Bait Doll. And Bait Doll's kind of interesting. Just
really
because,
interesting.
It's kind of like D-Spell if you play 2002 format, except for it just reveals the card and then it negates it, forces it. But this shuffles back into the deck, so it's just
so they have to pick between the 5 best spells of the format.
Because I didn't want to run MST because they would just obviously keep choosing that. But it's really weird. There's a loop that you can do with Premature and Pixie Knight to just keep it coming back and stuff. If you're just trying to hold on on those grind games and stuff, but it's weird to say, but Premature is the worst option for my opponent. All these are just obviously the other really, really amazing ones. So that's what made the idea for the deck. So and I figured since we were running this engine, the light engine, I was just why don't I put in a dark engine, just because I want to be able to get Sandgan quicker, because I want to be able to get Serpent quicker, because if we're not running as many spells, we're going to run traps. And the traps that I chose are, I feel like they're the better ones, but they're the ones that you need to pitch something for,
Right, it's like the Burning Abyss style traps.
Exactly. Yeah. So I wanted to make sure that I turboed out Sandgan to get this faster. And then long story short, if you end up getting this, and then these are just dead in hand or something, you can end up pitching these, and then you you have more fuel for your stuff. So, and then I was well, I have a light and a dark engine, so why don't I just go ahead and just kind of put some chaos into it. So that's whenever I decided to. I originally didn't have the Thunder Dragons in. I probably added. These are my most recent addition to the deck.
And it's because he kept not getting lights in the grid fast enough?
Yeah, because my opponent would, if they, I came to a point where if they, Sakuratsu this or Mirror Forced it or Ringed it or whatever, then that would shut off my light engine. So I was just well, let's go ahead and do this, and then this kind of fed more into the, negate traps. You know, we're just, you know, I'm a as a
so
preview.
you pitch one, yeah.
We run stuff like Magic Jammer and just stuff like that where it's just like out your opponent's charity and you just pitch your extra one that you got off of this and you're good to go. But yeah, so I run these. This started off just 2 and then I added the 3rd one. I've been consistently changing this over the last, you know, long while now. But yeah, so I was like, lights and darks, cool. And then I was just like, well, let's go ahead and add a Chaos Engine. And then that inspired even more stuff. But we're just going to go on to the staples. Just 1 Tsukiyomi though. You can do some cool stuff with it, but it's not like a need to kind of a thing. This honestly is like one of your outs to like
Berserk Gorilla and just like random stuff in the format.
The enemy to this deck is Jinzo, and so if your opponent has a Jinzo, you want to make sure you have a way to out it. And then obviously, you know, we have a Sangan Turbo, so Sangan can search these, and these are easy outs to Jinzo.
Jinzo. 10,000 eyes.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Breaker, obviously. Tribe, DD Word Lady. This is cool because if your opponent's trying to like just get at you or something, you can just float down into it, and then it stops them in their tracks, or they just you know, banish their monster.
Or they have to waste something to get rid of the warrior.
Exactly.
Lady. Yeah.
1 Xerion. I feel like 1 is good. Like
it's a good killer.
Yeah, and it just gets in the extra damage. Honestly, like if I want to be able to, like if I have this, I want this to go off. So like if I ever have this, I set it a lot and just let my opponent run into it unless they have goats. Morphing Jar. Just because
the monster lineup, this is cracking me
It's weird,
up.
man.
It has changed so much. I've watched this deck change, and it keeps getting better and better and better and better. Like the more,
it's so freaking fun, dude. It's so fun. I was between this and Cyber Jar for the longest time because you run so many monsters that are like under 4, and then you add the rest to your hand. But I just ended up going with Morphing Jar, and I was talking with my other friend Hunter, and I was like, you know, what do we think we should do? And we just kind of like stuck with the Morphing Jar. 1 Air Knight because this is even better in this deck, just for the fact that like, you know, if you already have like this in hand or, you know, in grave, and you have just a way to, you know, recur it or something, if you're, you know, floating with these guys, these are just going to survive anyway. So like on your next turn after this gets destroyed, you know, summon this out or the Sangan, and then just, you know, tribute for the Air Knight, and it just makes it easier just to get Air Knight out too. And it's a light, and you're, you know, playing the Chaos Engine in this also. So that is the monsters, dude. I think that is 24 monsters.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's like the anti-goat.
It's fun, dude. Okay, Jar of Greed is probably one of my favorite cards in this deck. So not only are we just running more traps, and you want to be able to see your spells faster, so like your power spells, and those are the only spells that you do run anyway. But so you want to be able to deck them, and then that kind of just
and you don't want to play Upstart because they'll just keep adding Upstart back to your hand.
They'll like force it to your hand. And then so what I started doing was like I would crash with like my Pixie Knight while this was set, and then they would put Graceful Charity on top of the deck, and then I would just activate Jar of Greed on that same turn, and then just add it to my hand that turn. And then once I did that, I could like start digging more, and then really just kind of get set up for next turn with like these kind of traps. Skill Drain because everything activates in grave, and then my Chaos monsters are bigger than your monsters, and you know I can just attack over them. 3 Phoenix, Wing Blast, all different rarities. That's how I roll. There's the Serpent and the Dragons and that kind of stuff, and you just have a lot of pitch power for this. So it really makes it to where it's just doable. Usually these aren't good at, you know, like a 3 or something in this deck, but I don't know. You can run Raigeki Break over one of these too if you want. It's just kind of player preference. I like setting my opponent back.
Yeah, setting them back in turns really
especially
strong.
Like returning like a trap. Like one of the brokest things that you can do is like if they like T-set something, you can activate, you know, 1 on their end phase and return that back, and then with a Serpent, and then on the standby get the Serpent back to your hand, activate another, and then boom, and then they have 2 cards that they can activate, like one right after the other. So that versus Raigeki Break, there's a big argument over it. It's player preference, honestly. So 1 call, 1 ring. 1 Mirror Force, kind of just staples.
Yeah.
And then 2 techs that I really like. I like Magic Jammer, or not Magic Jammer, Magic Drain, and Magic Jammer. So because I really don't want my opponent to just be able to control me. So like I'll control them. Like another thing about this is like you can set, you know, like 3 cards or something in your back row, and if you got a Magic Jammer, dude, you're good to go because like they only have that 1 heavy storm, you know. So and there's been every time where I just like, you know, activate the Magic Jammer, pitch Serpent or a Thunder Dragon, and these are safe every time. So Magic Drain's good. And this goes in with the dust shoots that I side, because then you really know when to activate the Magic Drain. So that is 41 with the bait doll.
41.
41. You don't have to play bait doll. It's just really it's a cool,
good tech. I like it.
It's a cool tech. Like it honestly, because you don't run the MST, so it's a really good substitute for it. So the side.
No extra.
No extra. Obviously,
Don't
don't run
need
meta. We got the tokens.
Yeah.
That's it. The side is amazing. I feel like, okay, so this card is busted against Chaos, like in the mirror, or even against Beastdown, because like back in the day, I don't know if it got eroded or not, but in GOAT format, like, you know, this says select up to 5 cards from either player's graveyard. It doesn't say monster spells, whatever, and then you banish them. So you can banish other spells or other whatever to make your opponent choose this. And if you're playing against Chaos, this is always going to keep going back to your hand. So you can keep banishing your own spells so that it forces this card, and then you can just keep banishing your opponent's monsters. And also against like Beastdown, so Bazoo can't really get that big. That's really good. So Skull there, I like this against just standard GOAT because it's a 1 card out to Thousand Eyes Restrict. And not only that, but I don't know, I've had some people tell me that this card isn't good. I really do think that it is. It can be easily negated, and it's really kind of arguable in GOAT format, but it's kind of another one of those things where you can control your own graveyard. So like say I have, you know, Graceful Charity and Premature like in the grave. If I'm trying to just out, you know, my opponent's Thousand Eyes Restrict, obviously it's a level 1, so I just banish 1 card from my grave. I'll banish like the Premature, so the only thing left in the grave for them to choose after that point is Graceful Charity, and this card says remove any number of cards in your graveyard from play. Destroy 1 face-up monster on the field whose levels equal the same number of cards that you banished. So that's really good. These, I have so much Jinzo hate in this extra deck, or this side deck.
Lose the Jinzo.
Yeah, I really do. Like, when I was like playing at like regionals the other day, against just people, every single time like somebody would drop Jinzo, if I couldn't out it, I would just lose because I play such a heavy trap lineup. So I want to try to out the Jinzo before it even gets to the field. This is good against stuff like Beastdown, just because like, you know, if they play so many like Sakuratsu Armors, Mirror Forces, whatever. This is good against standard GOAT. A lot of our side actually is traps, just because, you know, we run a ton of traps in this deck. You know, this just can out a field of goats anyway, or just, you know, a good field of your opponents. You know, you can just like normal summon this, and once you have 4 monsters on the board, boom, just clear everything. 1 Dust Tornado against just random stuff, probably, you know, Beastdown, other stuff, you know. Roll Command, this is good. So you can just side out.
Yeah, you can put that against Chaos and Standard.
Oh, anything, dude.
Anything.
Like, you just side out.
Flip-flop, empty jar, yeah.
Like,
yeah, anything.
Like anything except for Beastdown, pretty much. You side out your Morphing Jar, because that's your only flip effect that you play, and you put in this, and then you're good to go. This is really weird. I would only side this in against, I don't main it, but just because, like, I know it has the Chaos engine in it, but like it's not like strictly Chaos. We don't play like the Night Assailants and like the it's how do
well, you do play the Thunder Dragons though, so you do turbo the lights
exactly,
like Chaos,
yeah.
but it's just better to side it with like the soul releases and stuff because soul release banishes and that makes sense.
It's just I'll side it in against standard GOAT because it'll go better against
Plus,
standard
it's a
GOAT.
one of. It pays like half your life points, and it's a trap.
For sure.
Like it's a really really good win button card, but like you need to be able to actually use it as a win button.
Yeah. And it's weird if you see it. Like I'm worried about this card. Like some Chaos decks will like play to this card like the whole game, but I don't know. It's weird. So I'll side this in against Jinzo or Monarchs because all Monarchs got 10 defense, and that's just really good.
They all got little booties.
Yeah. Another Chaos and Beastdown side. Monarchs. This is good against Monarchs because they can't snatch steal it or brain control it. You just attack and then you just like peace, man, and then it just keeps returning back.
Yeah.
These are also for just random stuff. Usually Jinzo.
Oh, and a Sheriff Priest is a goat killer.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And it's a light.
Yeah, it's a light. That's also good.
So I like Bazoo because Bazoo, it puts use to the cards in your grave that aren't like a light or a dark.
And it pairs well with Return from the Different Dimension.
Exactly. And so it's just really weird. Like it can go up to 25 and Jinzo's 24. I know. I like talk so much about Jinzo, but like you don't understand. Like this deck will lose to Jinzo. And then Solemn Judgment for just random stuff. This is probably my favorite tech that I play this deck. Okay, so there's certain cards like in GOAT that are like fun techs or they're good techs. And it's just like, oh, it could be okay like in a certain situation. But like this is a tech that you would play if you're playing Chaos in the Chaos Mirror match, because both of you are going to be playing this. You, usually if your opponent's playing like standard Chaos, they're going to play Card Destruction. Duo, they play Magician of Faith Turbo with the Night Assailants to get back to duos, and they're always going to try to hit you with that. So whenever this card is sent from your hand to the grave by opponent's card effect, you just draw 2 cards. Like, yeah, I mean, seriously, really like good. You just, and like most people see this card, have probably seen it since their childhood, and they're like, wait a minute, and then they'll look at this, and they're like, whoa, what the heck?
when you activate Duo, but you give your opponent a pot of
right, I know, it's awesome. And it's a light, so I mean, it's just like why, like in the Chaos Mirror, this is probably one of the best cards to side. So yeah, that's literally the whole deck. Yeah, freaking Pixie Knight, and it just kind of went from there, man.
I told you guys you're gonna be in for a trip.
Yeah.
This deck is super fun. It's not super fun to play against,
no,
but
it's super fun to play. But like I don't know, like somebody played this against me the other day, and I was just like, this sucks, man. I can't even imagine like having to go against this whole time. So yeah. That's it.
All right.
Shout out to Metamats, and just everybody in Tulsa.
The crew. All right, guys. As always, be sure to
dick slap that like button and
oh come on,
subscribe.
Dick slap that like button and subscribe. Subscribe.